Do you have a slanted wall in your room? Then dig up these tools: a bevel tool, your pencil, a hammer, measuring tape, and a jigsaw. A slanted wall in the room? No problem. In a few steps, you can seamlessly connect the laminate floor to the shape of your room. First, measure the angle of the slanted wall with your bevel tool. Fasten the screw and draw the angle on the laminate boards. This will become your sawing line. Then saw out that angle, but use different lengths for the boards with a slanted side. This will create a nicely tilted floor and a more beautiful effect. Finish out the rows and don't forget your spacers. Professional tip: place your spacers where you click boards together. This will keep everything in place even better. Installing a floor around tubes? Grab the following from the toolkit: a knife, a pencil, tape, a silicone caulking gun, and a jigsaw or a butterfly drill. Don't be discouraged by radiator tubes to install your laminate floor by yourself. There's an easy way to finish off the piece around the tubes nicely as well. Always start with the underlay. Measure the width of the radiator tubes and draw this on the underlay. Do the same for the distance between the tubes and the wall. Cut out this piece and use the surplus to fill in the other pieces behind and between the tubes. Fasten everything with some tape. Now measure the distance between the wall and the center of the radiator tubes and draw this on a board. Cut the board on that line. This piece will eventually end up behind the tubes. Place the laminate floor up against the tubes and use a slat to also draw the position in the width of the tubes on the board that was just cut off. Take the center of the tubes as a reference point and mark this point. Do this for both tubes. This point will later serve to drill out the holes. Click on the small piece on the longer board that will come at the front of the tubes and fasten with 2 boards on the side. This is a bit easier to work with. Then use the jigsaw or butterfly drill to saw out a circle on the indicated markings. The golden rule for the diameter here is your tube diameter plus 16 millimeters. After this, make everything loose. Place the small board behind the tubes and finish off the floor around the tubes. Use a tapping block to fasten everything together. Professional tip: if the holes around the tubes are a bit too big, then you can fill them with PE foam and silicone. For this, you'll need a crowbar, a pencil, a jigsaw, and a chisel. Do you have a room with a round wall? Don't worry, you can install a floor here as well. Place your floor in the direction of the convex or concave wall up to the last possible full board. Click a row of new boards into each other and place them on the last laid row of boards. Then take a piece of laminate board, push one side against the wall and use the other side to draw over the shape on the loose row of boards. Follow the shape of the wall. This will become your sawing line. Click the sawed out boards into the penultimate board and finish off the floor. Use the crowbar to fasten it well so that the floor fits perfectly. Installing laminate around round shapes is easy with a large piece of paper, a knife, a pencil, a jigsaw, and elastic silicone. Do you have a toilet, pillar, or another round object in the room? Laying a floor may seem impossible, but that is far from the truth. Follow our tips for a beautiful, nicely finished result. First, the underlay. Cut out half a round shape in the length of a piece of underlay. Make sure that the underlay doesn't create a double layer anywhere, so cut away surplus pieces and fasten everything well with tape. Once all the floor around the toilet or the round shape is covered, you can start working on the floorboards. Grab a large piece of paper. You will draw the shape of the round object on it, so that you can use it later on the boards as a pattern. Ensure that the paper fits around the pillar and use tape to keep everything in place. Also indicate the distance from the round shape to the lastly placed row of boards on the paper. And now the professional tip to obtain a beautiful cutting shape. With a piece of board, follow the shape of the pillar or the toilet and copy a line to the paper each time. Do this for the entire round shape and make sure you incorporate the curve well. We will use these lines later to draw the shape on the boards. Now click a few boards together, wide enough for the entire pillar or toilet to fit into. Add a few extra boards for stability. Now take the piece of paper and tape it in the right position to the boards. Put the same board again against the lines on the paper and draw a pencil strip on the other side. Do all lines that you drew on the paper. This way you can draw the shape of the pillar or the toilet onto the laminate. Click the boards loose again and put them in the saw bench. Carefully saw out the shape according to the line you drew. Then you can place the boards around the round shape. You can remove pencil stripes with a rag and some cleaner. Finish it off with PE foam and Pergo aqua sealant or elastic silicone, so moisture can't get through. Clean it and you're done. Sealing the floor with Pergo aqua sealant or permanent elastic silicone. After the floor has been installed and you use the spacers, you'll have some space left between the floor and the wall. Your floor has some leeway and can expand or shrink following fluctuations in humidity. You'll still need a few steps to make the floor water resistant. Fill in the joint around the floor with PE foam. Then, cover it with permanent elastic silicone and rub it open well with your finger. After this, you can place the skirting board. In humid rooms, it's best to fill it at the bottom as well.